David Hall and Casey Johnson here at American Airlines Arena after the Bulls' 115-78 rout at the hands of the Miami Heat, the worst playoff loss in Bulls history. It was embarrassing too. The Bulls had 6 technical fouls, the most that any playoff team have had in 8 years, and 2 ejections, Joakim Noah and Taj Gibson's. The Bulls lost their composure, and they lost the playoff game series, even 1-1 going to Chicago on Friday night.
You don't see too many teams down 46 points in a playoff game. I mean, not only, like you said, David, they lose their composure, they just weren't competitive. 60% shooting by the Miami Heat, 28 points off 19 Bulls turnovers. It was basically exactly everything that they could not do to win. They did. I mean, they just basically went away from the game plan everywhere they went, so it was pretty ugly.
And I think the one thing afterward, the Bulls, at least after the game, acknowledged the fact they did sort of lose it, and they weren't very proud of the way they performed. Taj Gibson owned up to it. Joakim Noah said it wasn't very zen-like, and Tom Thibodeau said that it got to the point where they would lose focus and they'd be complaining to the referees, get caught up in it, and then all of a sudden the Heat would be back on a fast break, converting. So it was a bad night for the Bulls. They did get what they came here for, a split in the first 2 games. So they go back kind of humble, but they have to be fairly content with where they are.
Well, they knew that they're going to get a more aggressive effort from the Heat, and I thought LeBron James obviously set the tone early, 6 for 6 in the first quarter, all layups or dunks, just basically imposed as well in the start of the game early, but that's what made their response so disappointing. They knew this was coming from the Heat, and they still failed to respond. They're out-rebounded, which is a bad formula for success for the Bulls. Defense obviously poor if you're giving up 60% shooting, so they basically strayed from the game plan everywhere and then lost their composure at the end. We were debating whether or not one of these guys are going to get suspended for Game 3. It's certainly in play. I personally would be surprised. I think they'll both just get fined. Noah did leave the bench area on his second technical, which during a fight is grounds for an automatic suspension, but this was not a fight, so I guess my guess is he would just be fined. And then Taj did not leave the court in a timely fashion. Was
had to be escorted off,
screaming profanity at official Scott Foster. Again, I think that'll be finable, but I think suspensions are
the playoffs.
Are basically in
standard in the postseason.
They're going to be looked at. So, all I'm saying is that there is a possibility that there's going to be some suspensions.
Also,
they're going to be out without those.
Speaking of possibilities,
yes.
Derrick Rose. Well, internet rumors that he's going to be dressed on Friday night. I think that would be a terrible idea. I think it's a distraction, and I don't think there's much chance of that happening.
I don't either, and I also would be surprised if Luol Deng or Kirk Heinrich are in uniform on Friday night for Game 3. So the Bulls again will be short-handed, and they need to get their composure back because this was pretty ugly tonight.
They need to get their focus back. They'll be at the United Center, back in familiar environment on Friday night for Game 3. We'll be there too for Casey Johnson. I'm David Hall.